So you want to know how much I spent in Santorini, Greece? This video is gonna include flights, hotels, food, transportation fees. My last video was about how much I spent in Thailand. So let's get into it. I wrote everything down because I cannot remember numbers. I flew from Los Angeles and the flight was not too long, definitely not as long as flying to Thailand. So after arriving, I spent exactly 8 days in Greece, only in Santorini, from May 27th to June 3rd. So these are the prices I paid for end of May, just before the summer season started. I got very lucky. I think that's the best time to go because there was no massive crowds. If you look up a lot of videos or pictures of Santorini, there's always a lot of crowd. Not for me. I'm also gonna put in some clips here just to see, especially in the morning, it was empty. Only the locals and the workers were present, so I got lucky. My flight from LA to Santorini after tax was $838.97, so under $1,000, which is really good. I don't think you're gonna find anything cheaper. Maybe $100 cheaper because it is an island, so it has a smaller traffic. There's not a whole lot of option of flights, so that is probably the cheapest you can ever find. I think the average price during tourist season, which is the summer, it should be around 1,300, 1,400, maybe 1,600. So go before the summer or after the summer if you want to save some money. I stayed at 3 different hotels. 2 of them were okay. Average. It was really good, but it was pretty average. So it's not like the fancy, you have your own private pool. There is 2 big cities in Santorini. One is Thira, which is where you're gonna arrive. Now, if you stay there, you will see some of the white walls and everything, but a lot of them are graffitied and kind of dirty. So if you want to see the real white, like blinding white, you go to Ia. Ia is more pricier, everything wise. Souvenirs, food, hotels, it's more pricier, but that's where you're gonna find like the beautiful everything. I love that so much. So there my hotel was more pricier than in Thira. So in Ia, I stayed at 2 different hotels. One of them was the average hotel. That one was I think 3 nights? Couple nights. And the total after tax came out to $539.42. It had breakfast. It was beautiful, clean, but there was no like private pool. Not the ones that you normally see when you Google Ia Santorini. I had to stay at least 1 night in one of those because I don't know when is the next time I'm gonna be traveling to Santorini. Hopefully soon. But there's also Mykonos, which is on my bucket list. So for the fancy hotel with my own little pool, that was for 1 night $525.49. However, I think like the day before or some days, because I was there for a few days, I think like maybe the staff management saw me with the camera and I got upgraded to the presidential suite, which was pretty much the same. Like I still had my own pool, but it was at the very top, so no one was looking down at me. And of course, like inside it was completely different. It was like a whole apartment. Absolutely amazing. So if you're expecting one of those hotels, it's gonna cost you at least $500 per night. And then the 3rd hotel I stayed at was in Thira, and it was beautiful. It was so nice. Very large. Had a shared pool between the hotel residents, and it was a smaller hotel, so I think it maybe had like 15 rooms, but it was a building, and in the middle there was a pool. Also came with breakfast. These hotels all came with breakfast, and for a couple of nights there it was $280.01. after all the fees and taxes. So the total I spent on the hotel was $1,344.92. Now, to get to Ia from Fira, you can either rent a car, which I would not recommend, or you can rent a scooter, which I would also not recommend. Because, people drive very fast. Very fast. And there's a lot of people walking and just, they don't care about the cars or the bikes. They just walk right in front of it. So there's a shuttle bus, or it's a regular bus, that goes from Fira to Ia, which one way cost €1.60. I'm gonna put up a price sheet right here. This is one way, goes all the way, and this bus goes everywhere. There's different routes. So going to Ia and then coming back, the total for this was €3.38. However, I also took the bus to a longer route. From Fira to Ia, it's about a 20-some minute ride. But I also took this bus 4 more times, once to the Black Beach, one of my days, because I ran out of things to do in Ia. So all the way to the Black Beach, which is at the other side of the island, and then back. And then another day I went to Akrotiri, which is on the other side of, so Ia, Akrotiri, and the Black Beach. So, and then Fira is in the middle. So those extra buses costed about $12 more altogether. So I spent around $15 just on the bus transportation, which is very good. Now for the clothes. The Greek dresses, so beautiful. I brought a few home, and I also bought some paintings, some souvenirs, some spices. Spices. So on clothes, souvenirs, I spent $650 roughly. A little under $700 probably. It always depends on the currency. So $650 on clothes, but it was worth it because I cannot find those dresses anywhere else. They're made in Greece. They're 100% cotton, and it's old Greek goddess style, but a little bit modernized. It's so beautiful. For food, because I had breakfast, I only bought lunch or dinner and snacks. Some days a little more, some days a little less. So on food, I spent about $50 each day. Yeah, so do not expect Santorini to be like Athens, where you're gonna have street food. No, this is mainly restaurants, and I would have spent a lot more, but because Ia is not cheap. They're American prices if you go to the restaurants, especially in the Caldera. It's not cheap at all. But my little trick is to stop locals and ask them where they eat. So in Ia, I found this place called Nico's, and it was the best Greek food of my life. And all the locals go there, and most tourists don't know about it. And it was very, very cheap, so I went there a few times actually. And in Fira, there was a lot more restaurant options. So on food, I spent about $400. Total for 8 days spent in Santorini, I spent $3,249.27. That's including flight, hotels, souvenirs, and food and transportation. That was it for this video. What do you think? Is that too much? I think that's an okay price for 8 days. Of course, if I stayed at a cheaper hotel for that one day, this will be a lot less. But I don't know when's the next time I'm gonna be back, so it was worth it to me. Okay, I hope you got a little idea of kind of how much you should expect to spend in Santorini. Santorini is not cheap. Locals told me that Mykonos is cheaper, And Athens is about 3 times cheaper. And in Athens, you're gonna be able to find more street food and more authentic Greek food because a lot of the restaurants in Iya were very Americanized. There was pizza, burgers, at least 2 Italian restaurants. One of them was like a restaurant slash bakery. So there was no like authentic old school Greek food. In Fira you can find those, but the locals told me that in Athens you're gonna find way more authentic Greek food if that's why you're going to Greece. So that was my how much it costed to go to Santorini for 8 days video.